Hello Tamers, sorry for the delays due to Master Duel Stealth release last week, but it is now finally time to start the biggest Dreamer Cup finals with a match between Takato and Henry. Henry's got the first move. Security setup. Digimon standby. Let's open the digital gates. Hatching, Gummymon. It evolves into Pulsemon. Then at 2 cost into Gargomon. Turn over. Hatching on the left side, Gigimon. It evolves into Agumon. Then at 2 cost into Growlmon. And at 3 cost, War Growlmon. Turn over. Gargomon moves out. At 2 cost it evolves into Rapidmon. Then for 3 cost, Henry plays Green Memory Boost to reveal the top 4 cards of his deck. Adding Gargomon to his hand, the remaining are returned to the bottom of his deck, which is a bit unfortunate because he really needs one of his tamers to get going. In any case, 3 cost and turn over. War Growlmon moves out. And on its 8k DP, it goes for Henry's security. Security check! It is Rapidmon armor on 6k, trash. Looks like Takato's taking the initiative in this match, now playing himself for 3 cost, preparing to blitz the next turn. Turn over. Hatching, Gummymon. It evolves into Terriermon. Then, by activating the delay effect of Green Memory Boost, Henry increases his memory to 3. And now, to make sure Rapidmon won't get slaughtered by War Growlmon the next turn, for 5 cost, Matrix Evolution. Donning the heaviest armor and the heaviest artillery, Rapidmon will rise up as MegaGargomon. Passing over the memory at 2, turn over. Active and hatching a Gigimon. It evolves into Gilmon. Now, the brand new EX2 MegaGargomon is a formidable fortress with its second effect. When it attacks once per turn, it can bounce one opposing Digimon to the hand with equal or less DP than this Digimon. Alright, there's a bit of a translation error here. It's not just less DP, it's equal or less. So it would not be a good idea to attack carelessly with War Growlmon. Instead, Takato plays Gilmon from his hand for 3 cost. On play, the top 4 cards of the deck can be revealed to search for one of its evolution lines or Takato. And Takato, I mean. Anyway, Gallantmon Crimson mode is added to the hand, the rest are returned to the bottom of the deck, and turn over. Henry chooses to keep Terriermon in the raising area. Now, despite how solid MegaGargomon is, Henry has to be a bit careful about attacking as well. Cause since Takato is now on the field, all Gallantmons and the new Megidramon gain Blitz on Evolve. Which means if MegaGargomon ends the turn suspended, he's gonna be vulnerable to being deleted as well. So instead, Henry evolves the Terriermon in the raising area to Gargomon for 1 cost, and then finally, he plays a tamer in the form of Wallace for 3 cost. Turn over. Takato chooses to keep Gilmon in the raising area and then attacks with the Gilmon currently on his field with 1k DP. Security check. MegaGargo on 11k. It is trashed. Next for 2 cost, the Gilmon in the raising area will evolve into Growlmon. And then for another 2 cost, Takato plays Pyrosphere. On main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less, but of course there are no targets. However, if this effect didn't delete, your opponent's Digimon draw 2 cards. So 2 draws for 2 cost. 1, 2, and turn over. Still refusing to make a move, Henry plays Green Memory Boost again for 3 cost, revealing the top 4 cards of his deck. He adds Rapidmon to his hand and returns the rest to the bottom of his deck. And with that, turn over. Now this is turning out to be a pretty slow match. Keeping Growlmon in his raising area, Takato evolves it into War Growlmon for 3 cost. Turn over. Now Henry decides it is finally time to take action. He attacks with MegaGargomon. But unfortunately, since there are no suspended Digimon on Takato's field, he cannot make use of his second effect. So now security check on 13k. Rise Grey on 7, trashed. Now Henry will evolve the Gargomon in his raising area to Rapidmon for only 2 cost, passing over the memory at 1 and turn over. This new War Growlmon moves out. Well, Takato will gladly take up Henry's invitation to attack. First, he attacks with his original War Growlmon on 8k DP, with Gigimon's inheritable 1 draw. And security check! Oh, but it's Nidhoggmon with 13k DP, the Mega Gargo deck's secret ace. And with that, one War Growlmon is taken out. Now how will this affect the match moving forward? But of course, Takato is not done just yet. Because at 4 cost, Matrix Evolution, he will evolve his remaining War Growlmon into the Blazing Royal Knight's Gallantmon. 1 draw. And of course, with Takato's effects, Blitz, aiming for Mega Gargomon. With Gigimon's Inheritable, that's a draw. And with Gallantmon's effect that gives it plus 2k DP during your turn, it is now striking for 14k, while Mega Gargomon only has 13k. The Royal Saber pierces through and Mega Gargomon is deleted, which then triggers Takato for Memory plus 1, as well as the Growlmon Inheritable during your turn once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, Memory plus 1. Turn over. Henry moves Rapidmon out. But of course, Henry is not the type to give the opponent an opening for no reason. First, he activates the delay of Green Memory Boost, increasing his memory to 3. And then, Wallace's effect. During your turn, when evolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon with Gargomon or Rapidmon in its name, you may suspend this tamer to reduce the cost by 1. So by suspending Wallace, at only 3 cost, Rapidmon will evolve into the Steel Giant Mega Gargomon. 1 draw. On evolve, suspend one opposing Digimon and it does not unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Although Gallantmon is already suspended, it can still be targeted such that it won't unsuspend the next turn. But that's not very important because Mega Gargomon is taking care of him right here, right now. Although Mega Gargo only has 11k DP, with Gargo it gets plus 1k for each opposing suspended Digimon, and Rapidmon has the exact same inheritable, for a total of plus 2k to 13k. Gallantmon is crushed. Then Henry will end his turn by playing another Terriermon for 3 cost. Turn over. Active, draw, hatching a Gigi. It evolves into Gilmon, then into Monochromon for 1 cost, and next, War Growlmon for 3 cost. Turn over. Active, draw, hatching, Gummimon. It evolves into Terriermon, then into Gargomon for 1 cost. Then the Terriermon on the field will be evolved into the blocker Kabuterimon for 1 cost. Turn over. Now, since Henry has 10 cards in the trash and only 2 remaining security, honestly, Takato doesn't need to rush. He keeps War Growlmon in the raising area and for 4 cost, evolves it once again into Gallantmon. Turn over. Keeping Gargomon in his raising area, Henry launches a missile assault with Mega Gargomon at Takato's security on 11k. Security check. 5k on Growl, trashed. Then he evolves Gargomon into Rapidmon for 2 cost and ends his turn by finally playing himself, the tamer Henry Wong at 4 cost. Turn over. And now, Gallantmon will finally emerge from the raising area. Unfortunately, there is a blocker set up on Henry's field, so he won't be able to clinch the game this turn, but there is no change in what he must do. Inheriting the courage and will of the Zero Arms Granny, Gallantmon will unleash his true power, growing 10 angelic wings. Mode shifts! Code Crimson! Gallantmon mode changes into Gallantmon Crimson mode. 1 draw. On evolve, Final Justice. Delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. Mega Gargomon stands no chance. Since Henry is on the field, there's no point in using Takato now, but Crimson mode can still blitz. With Gigimon's Inheritable, 1 draw. And with Gilmon's Inheritable, technically now he can delete an opposing Digimon with 3k or less DP. And with War Growlmon's Inheritable, the limit is increased by 1k, allowing him to blow up something with 4k or less. But unfortunately, Kabuterimon is at 5k, just out of reach. However, Crimson mode has a second effect which activates when it attacks. Invincible Sword. Trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's security and increase the number trash for every 10 cards in your opponent's trash. There are currently 15 cards in Henry's trash, so his 2 remaining security are just gonna be obliterated without being checked. Let's see what they are. A Terriermon on 1k, and the last one is Security Effect Pulsemon, which, when checked, allows you to suspend 1 opposing Digimon. And with the effect resolved, Crimson mode is now going for Henry's face. so he has no choice but to block with Kabuterimon, which is of course sliced to pieces. But with that, he survives. Turn over, and Rapidmon moves out. First, another Terriermon is played onto the field for 3 cost, and then Henry will play the ace up his sleeve. The limited option card at 0 cost, Hidden Potential discovered. On main, the next time one of your green Digimon evolves, you may suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the memory cost of the evolution by 5. So by suspending the newly played Terriermon, Rapidmon will once again Digivolve back into EX2 MegaGargomon, but this time for 0 cost. 1 draw. On evolve, suspend 1 opposing Digimon for each green tamer you have in play, and they do not unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Since Henry finally has 2 tamers, he can target 2 opposing Digimon, but it's not too important now because since the memory is still at 0, it is still Henry's turn, and he can immediately launch an attack with Mega Gargo, aiming for Takado's security. With Gargo and Rapidmon's inheritables, since there is 1 suspended Digimon on Takado's field, Mega Gargo gains plus 2k DP up to 15k. And you guys know what that means? On attack, once per turn, he can now bounce 1 suspended Digimon with 15k or less DP to the hand. And Crimson Mode on defense only has 15k. Although not a deletion, Mega Gargomon has just single-handedly manhandled the immensely powerful Crimson Mode. All the evolution sources are discarded, and Mega Gargo's missiles finally hit their mark. Security check. Gilmon on 2k, trashed. Finally, Henry plays Pulsemon for 3 cost. Takado only has 2 security left. Henry completely intends to turn things around by winning the game next turn. Turn over, and a Gigimon is hatched. Now how is Takado gonna get himself out of this? Well, at the very least, thanks to the new Gigimon's inheritable, he has a crazy amount of hand size right now. Literally 20 cards in his hand, so he has many strategies at his disposal. And first and foremost, he evolves Gigimon into the starter deck Gilmon that has the ability to warp Digivolve while the opponent has a Mega. And then at 2 cost, he plays the option card Pyrosphere. To delete 1 opposing Digimon with 3k DP or less, Pulsemon is roasted, and now Henry doesn't have lethal during the next turn. And then, as one of the Digimon tamers, Takado will perform a Card Slash, the blue card. For 3 cost, main, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck. One of your Digimon may evolve into a non-white Digimon from among them at no cost, but if you don't, you can add 1 Digimon from among them to the hand. So paying 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, Takado chooses to add EX2 Gallantmon to his hand. With that, turn over. At the start of the turn, Henry pushes the memory up to 3, active, draw, and a Gamimon hatches. This match is reaching its climax. First, Mega Gargomon blasts Takado's security on 13k, but it is another Takado that is now played at no cost. Of course, this is followed up by an attack from Terriermon, and here we go, the final security check for Takado, and it is started at Gilmon with 2k DP, Terriermon is deleted, and now neither side has any security remaining. Pushed to the brink by this grueling battle, this is all Henry can do now. For 5 cost, he plays Mega Gargomon onto the field directly and turn over. And now, Gilmon will emerge. Since Henry didn't manage to draw into another blocker, there's no need for it to use its evolution effect. It simply attacks. Henry has no blockers on the field and no remaining security. It's a direct attack and the match is over. The winner is Takado and Gilmon. I have to say, this was a very satisfying match to film and watch. Both sides really gave it their all, and the final outcome really came down to the wire. In any case, Henry still has a chance, and he will face off against Impmon in the next final round. Will he manage to redeem himself, or will he be knocked out of the running? Only time will tell.